Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with 3 from me for September 2023. Three for Me is the series in which I recommend 3 movies I watched the previous month, or in this case, this month. They are not necessarily always horror film, and not necessarily always first-time watches. They are not always even my favorite 3 movies I watched in the month. They are just 3 films I recommend. I try not to include movies I'll be discussing in other segments, whether it be a review, a positive spin, a controversial view, or anything like that. With all of the movies I watch in a month, that helps me narrow it down to 3. Before I get to them, though, I want to say the reason why I uploaded this video today on the last day of September, or Hammer Horror Month, is because there's a lot coming up in October as well. The 31 Days of Horror, or 31 Days of Halloween, start tomorrow. You'll be getting the return of Bravo's Scariest Movie Moments Challenge, Anthologies of Horror, Controversial View, Positive Spin, and on the other days, I'll be reviewing Halloween-themed movies, so Wednesdays and Fridays. In addition to all those videos that will go live each day at midnight, Jason and I will also be uploading shorts every day at noon. Similar to what I did for VHS September this month, Jason and I will be recommending 1 Halloween movie each day throughout the month of October. Most days, there'll be the same recommendations between the two of us, but there will be a handful that are different. That's because I won't be recommending movies in the shorts that I'll already be discussing in my regular videos throughout the 31 days. So just be sure to check out both my channel and Jason's channel for those recommendations. Also, on most days, I'll be uploading a picture of a different edition of the same recommendation on my Instagram. That means you might see a Blu-ray or DVD edition in my YouTube short, but a VHS edition on my Instagram. You want to know why? Because physical media matters. And speaking of recommendations, here are my 3 from me for September 2023. I'll start with Thou Shalt Not Kill, Except, a 1985 horror film. This here is my original Prism Entertainment VHS release, and I actually watched this one with Jason this month. It was a first-time watch for him, and it had been years since I had last seen it. It stars Sam Raimi in a crazy role, and this is just pure entertainment. Check out this cover art for one. Awesome. On the back it says, "What would happen if Charles Manson met Rambo?" And I think that pretty accurately sums it up. To keep it simple, a group of Marines returning home from Vietnam go head-to-head against a murderous cult led by Sam Raimi. If this sounds right up your alley, then I highly recommend Thou Shalt Not Kill, Except. My next recommendation is Carnivore. While this is considered a 2000 movie, since that's when it was released, Carnivore was actually filmed between 1989 and 1991. Within the first minute of watching it, you'll know Carnivore is late 80s or early 90s horror. Honestly, had I known that sooner, I would have watched this much sooner. I've owned this tape and also owned the movie on a DVD multipack for years. I had a complete blast with it. It's typical cheesy late 80s, early 90s horror. The characters, the setting, the effects, which are pretty damn good by the way. The whole thing just has that classic horror look. Not to mention there's the constant sound of wind throughout the entire movie. I loved it. And honestly, if I could only recommend one this month, it would be Carnivore. And my last recommendation for September is No Hard Feelings. No Hard Feelings is a sex comedy released earlier this year. And I love the fact that the cover of the Blu-ray literally says, Rated R. That's because it wants you to know this is a throwback to classic sex comedies. It's not PG-13, it's a hard R. Speaking of hard, fans of Jennifer Lawrence will be thrilled to know that she's naked in this. Full frontal. It's a very lengthy scene too. Trust me, it's worth the price of admission, or the price of the Blu-ray. The movie doesn't worry about crossing lines. The jokes are offensive, as they should be. But deep down, it really is a sex comedy with heart. I was expecting to enjoy No Hard Feelings, but I liked it a lot more than expected. By the way, I found this Blu-ray at a thrift store a week after it was released. So I guess someone didn't enjoy it as much as I did. If you're not easily offended, I still recommend it though. Especially if you're a fan of sex comedies and seeing Jennifer Lawrence nude. So there you have it, guys. 3 from me for September 2023. Have you seen any of these films? And which of the 3 interests you the most? Comment below and let me know. And don't forget, the 31 Days of Horror, or 31 Days of Halloween, start tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.